Plain and simple. So we're going to do a tasting, and tastings of cheeses are very similar to tastings in wines in the sense that you always go from the lightest to the heaviest. So in this particular case, the younger cheeses are definitely going to be the lighter cheeses. So let's go around the world here and talk about what we have. We have this cheese here is a very cool goat cheese from America. Cypress Grove, it's called Humboldt Fog. And you'll notice that it starts to, it's almost like a cheesecake kind of thing. You know, you have the outside, which was a rind that bloomed on its own. This rind made itself. Whether they washed it with salt or whatever they washed it with, this rind bloomed itself. And it becomes the protectorant for everything inside. Then you see this stuff here, which is all creamy and everything. And then you get stuff in here where it gets a little bit denser like a cheesecake. This here is Robiola. So Robiola is from Italy. Robiola is another soft cheese. See? Robiola is cow and sheep. It's a combination. And it has a nice texture to it. This is another cheese that bloomed its own rind. This is the Camembert, which is very similar to Brie. And you'll see when I cut this, that this will also run. See that consistency? Yes. This is Camazzola, so this is Germany. This is from Germany. This is actually a combination cheese. It's a combination of a blue and a brie. And again, another self-blooming rind. In other words, when I'm saying self-blooming rind, it made itself. It wasn't put in a wax mold or anything. Now we come over to this Ashbrook, which is like French Morbier. This happens to be from America, from Vermont. America has come a long way with cheeses in the past 15 years or so, especially Vermont, New York State, and California. Like the cheese capital of the United States still doesn't really make any good cheeses, Wisconsin. So this is a harder cheese. It's not hard like grating cheese, like a Parmesan, but it has a density to it. Over here, this is one of my favorites. This is a Comté. So this particular Comté happens to come from France. It's like Gruyere. It's basically the same thing as Gruyere. So it's a Swiss style cheese. This is a rind where you see the rind was put on. Right? So they pour this curd into a rind, into a mold, and then they put it in their cages and they age it. That's how this rind is done. Same thing with this rind. This is not a self-bloomed rind. You can feel it. And then the last one is right here. And this is a cool one. This one's from Denmark. This is Gouda, or as they say actually Gouda, but it sounds horrible, so we'll just call it Gouda. And this is old. This is 18 months. The rest of these, the Gruyere is probably, oh yeah, it is a year, 12 months. This one might be 4 months. The other ones are all young. So, generally speaking, the accompaniments, especially for young cheeses, are the sweets, the mustardos and the jams that you guys worked on a couple weeks ago. We have the orange mustardo here. This is the fig mustardo. Was this a fig jam or just
fig?
Just a fig. Okay, both all with mustard stuff. And then we have the Dijon for which cheeses? The harder ones. Specifically this. This and English cheddar goes well with. And this kind of, you'll see, this is all by itself. Over here we have some Marcona almonds. Have you guys ever had these? Other than Tobias? Try these. These are almonds from Spain. Marcona.